Let me know where you are joining from. Okay, yeah, sorry we came in a bit late. We're having some technical issues, you know. But here we are. Good evening, Buki. Good evening, Miss Ebony. Good evening, Pastor Debola. How are you today? Let me know where you are joining from. Let me know where you are connected from. Awesome. Ooh. Amazing, amazing. Okay, joining from the UK, Judy. Nice to have you. Thank you for connecting. Thank you. Good evening. Cobb Wits. Good evening. How was today's Thanksgiving? It was beautiful. Yes, it was awesome. It was beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for connecting. Day 5 of 15. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. So share the link, share the live, get people to connect with us. Share the live and get people to connect with us this evening. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're keeping well. Amazing, 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 amazing. Ooh, what a day. It's been a very, very interesting day. I hope you've had a good day as well. So, yes, we're still on talking about, domestic violence and abuse. If you're meeting me for the first time, I am the Soul Doctor. My name is Jola-Grace Emmanuel, and I am committed to helping you heal, thrive, and grow. Yes, I'm a certified life and trauma recovery coach. So I help people, anyone who has been through any kind of trauma, to heal and to reinvent themselves for an excellent life. I also help you to develop emotional resilience and become emotionally intelligent so that you can be productive in every area of your life. And I'm so excited one more time. October is Domestic Violence and Abuse Awareness Month. And what we've decided to do over the next 15 days is to create as much awareness as possible, educate, churn out as much as we can. For the Bible even says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. And a lot of people have actually literally perished for lack of knowledge. So we're committed to doing this so that we can help as many people as possible to have the knowledge that they need, to make the right decision. So I see you all. Thank you for connecting. Adebumi, hi, good evening. Keyo, good evening. Blessings, hi, good evening. Good evening, darling. Tolu Ariola, good evening. Thank you for connecting. Like I said, share the link. And what I want to do tonight, right? I've got people send questions into our DM, so I wanted to take so that it doesn't pile up and becomes too much. So I thought, okay, I'll do a question and answers today, and then we'll talk about some topics again tomorrow. We have 15 days, so we'll just go step by step and just go with the flow. So if you have any question, you can use, I might not be able to get to my DM during this live show, right? But you can use the question icon, right, on the live to send us a question. So if you're on YouTube, you can send questions to my email, right? hello@coachjolagrace.com. I can pick that up on my laptop. So you can send your question to hello@coachjolagrace.com, and we'll be able to take as many questions as possible. Honeyland, good evening. Thank you for connecting. James Adewale, good evening. Darcy, good evening. Thank you so much for connecting. Welcome to day 5. We are creating awareness. And I was going through the questions, right? And I'm like, oh my God, okay, there's so many different. Some of these questions I've already answered them. Like somebody was asking, what exactly is domestic violence? Is it just only physical? I talked about that the very first day, that no, domestic violence is not just physical, right? Violence can be verbal. Violence can be emotional. Violence can be psychological. Violence can be financial. Violence can be sexual, right? Violence can even be spiritual. Absolutely. So abuse can happen in different areas of life, and it's important for you to know what the signs are. We dealt with the signs on day 2, I think it was, yes. On day 2, we dealt with the signs. So if you've missed any of the live sessions, you can actually have a rewatch. If you're on YouTube, they are all saved on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, they are all saved on Instagram. You can have a rewatch and just understand, what the signs are, so that when you see them, and what I did say was that these things happen perpetually. They happen all the time. It's become a norm. So those signs, then you know that if these things are happening, then definitely this is a toxic relationship and I need to do something about it. I need to choose myself. I see your Gotta Love, Rolly, hi, good evening. Tam Signature, good evening. Tammy, good evening. My Ivy Touch, good evening. Thank you all so much for connecting. So yes, like I said, can emotional and verbal abuse be just as damaging as physical abuse? Actually, yes, I also answered that question. So the ones I've answered, I won't really stay, too much on it. I did mention that as well. I think that was on day 2 or so. That was on day 2 or so. I did say that, excuse me, that emotional abuse, right, verbal abuse is as damaging, if not more damaging, than physical abuse. And the reason why I say that is your mind is your greatest asset, right? Your mind is your greatest asset. And verbal and emotional abuse affect your mind. I started talking about the power of words. The words are powerful. Words can make and words can mar. Words can destroy. Scientists have done research with human beings, with animals, with plants, right? Speaking positive words to some, speaking negative words to some, and seeing the result of how the negative words actually damaged the people or the animal or the plants that they were speaking negative words to. So what is verbal violence? What is emotional violence? Is when somebody keeps speaking verbal violence, somebody keeps speaking negative things to you. You are foolish, you are stupid, you have no brain, you are senseless, you are this one. All those negative things, they are violating your soul. Those things are violating your soul, and they are violating your soul and they are damaging your soul. Now, note that I've said that before, that your soul consists of your mind, your will, and your emotions, right? And so when you keep hearing those negative words, and for some people, they were verbally violated as children. Some people are body shamed. Look at your leg. Your leg is like bow leg. You are K-legged. Look at your nose. Look at your this. They kept saying those things to you, violating your soul, and over time, you don't feel good about yourself. You feel you are less than. You feel you are not enough. And so it is important for you to also understand that yes, verbal and emotional abuse is as damaging, and I dare say even if not more damaging. Because I remember using an example, was it yesterday, about if it was a car was involved in an accident and is dented, you can take it to the panel beater. But if they tell you that the engine of that car is gone, they will probably write the car off, right? So it's the same thing as emotional and verbal abuse. So yes, I think I've talked about that. So somebody says, why do many people stay in abusive relationships? This is a very interesting one. Bismarck, hi, good evening. Thank you so much for connecting. Thank you so much for being here. Right, so let's answer this question. Why do many people stay in abusive relationship? And I'll probably answer, right, from a personal point of view, this question. Now, people stay so long in abusive relationship for different reasons. Right? So, number one, lack of knowledge. And I'm looking at the questions. I've tried to highlight the questions, right? And I'm seeing that some people have asked me some questions about faiths and things like that, right? Let me just drop in the comment section where you are connecting from. Drop where you are connecting from in the comments section. Okay, Vals now. Okay, hi, good evening. Okulaja, hi. Joy, Joylana, hi. KG Moses, hi, good evening. Thank you all. Okay, from Nigeria. Interesting. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I see you all on YouTube as well. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for connecting. Thank you so much for connecting. Rolly, hi, good evening. Thank you for joining. Wow. Thank you, YouTubers. Thank you for connecting as well. You're very welcome. Nice, nice, nice. Lagos, Nigeria. Amazing, amazing. Thank you all so much for. So why do people stay in abusive relationships? So I said number one, right? Lack of knowledge. You know, have you heard this statement before? What you don't know cannot hurt you. And I'm like, not really. Actually, because what a lot of people don't know is what is hurting them. Because if you don't know that it is not good for you to be abused, some people think that they deserve to be abused or they don't deserve good things in their lives. Okay, Blessed is connecting from Lagos, Nigeria. Awesome, you're very welcome. Badmos Oluwatosin, good to have you. Thank you for connecting. Some people feel that it's okay. I don't need to enjoy any good thing. You know, suffering is normal. Maybe you grew up suffering. But do you know, I did say, do you know that your normal can be very abnormal? So lack of knowledge. I shared some time ago when I was sharing my story, I said, I did not know for years, for over 10 years, I did not know that I was being abused. And if I didn't know, how do I want to take steps to, right, to exit? I didn't know. I didn't know it was abuse. So some people are in the relationship and they don't even know what is going on. They don't know that, okay, this is not right. Which is why I said, listen, what we are working on, and doing these days is to do premarital coaching, not just counseling, coaching. Yes, we will come, the two of you, chunk down what happened in your background, where are you coming from? Are there any issues that you are dealing with that may rear up his head later on in the marriage and affect the relationship? Let's deal with it, unburden, right? You are going into that marriage, right, with a whole soul, with a healthy soul, not with a fragmented or sick soul. So that is really important. So some people do not even know that they are being abused, right? And so how can they come out of it? So I'm answering the question. Remember, if you have a question on YouTube, send an email to hello@jola-grace.com. On Instagram, for us to answer the question during this live, you use the question icon to send the question. Favor says, you look so gorgeous as usual. Sorry for the distracting the conversation. Oh, Favor, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Isi Grilla, Isi, hi. Thank you so much for connecting. Number two reason why people stay in abusive relationship is lack of empowerment, right? Lack of empowerment. And what do I mean by lack of empowerment, right? So lack of empowerment, that also has, a lot of other issues underneath it. It can be it can be relational empowerment. Sorry, I think I've got something in my throat. Give me a second. Ooh, awesome. Thank you. Hey, Dr. Michael. Good evening. Oh, I like that. I like your name, Some. Hi, how are you? Good evening. Let me know where you are connecting from tonight. So, lack of empowerment. It can be relational empowerment. Nobody was created or designed to thrive in isolation. We need each other. Nobody can succeed on their own in everything. In Africa, we say it takes a village to raise a child. What does that mean? That the aunties, the uncles, the neighbor, there might be some things that an auntie will see that, the mom might not see or the dad might not see. There will be something the uncle or the grandma it takes a village, right, to raise a child. Also, it takes healthy relationships in your life for you to know that this is wrong or this is right. Like a song says, I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. I just like your name, Sam. Awesome. Oh my God, just got a message of someone going through violence. What can she do? She's ready to leave the marriage now. Okay. So, Gila Isi, I need more information about the exact situation that this person in, the location and all of that. So I will say, please send me a DM, okay? Or send an email to hello@Jola-Grace.com or send a DM. Either of the two will be able to pick it up and guide and advise you as to what steps or any resources or organizations that can help the person depending on their location. The good thing is there's a lot of awareness now, and there are different organizations that are springing up to help people. Because listen, my spiritual mother used to say something. In fact, there was once what she said to my father is that the covenant of life is superior to the covenant of marriage. The covenant of life. It is the person that is alive that is saying, I am in a marriage. Right? The covenant, okay, she's in Abuja. Okay, that's fine. Oh, in fact, fantastic. So I would we'll just send me a DM and then we'll connect you to people in Abuja that can help her out. So the covenant of life is superior because so many people, I read statistics towards on the first day of the number of people that are dying. I think it's that 34% of murders globally, right, happen in intimate partner, happen in toxic environments with intimate partners. And I say sometimes to people, right, jokingly but not jokingly, that listen, if you die in that marriage, your blood cannot save anybody. And see, one question. There's a question here that I'm eager to answer. This person says, "Does God expect me to stay in an abusive marriage?" Because let me go to number. Okay, no, don't let me go ahead of myself. So I was talking about lack of empowerment, and I said relational empowerment. So oftentimes people in toxic relationships, and that's one of the tactics of the perpetrators. They isolate you. They isolate you so that they can have sole control over your mind. It's not even about people, it's about your mind. Because people can see you, people can speak to you, people can sense you. But when they want to dominate your mind, and they're the only ones that are speaking to you, so you don't even know that what is happening to you is bad. You think it's okay. And then you get to a point. So once they've already groomed you, you get to a point that you are telling outsiders that want to help you that no, it's not how, it's not him, oh, it's me, I'm the bad person. Meanwhile, you are the victim, but they have groomed you. And remember, I said the other day that abuse is not gender biased, right? I saw a question here that somebody says, does men, where is that question? There's something. I can't find it again, but there's something about, do men also experience abuse? The answer is yes. Abuse is not gender biased. Okay, Falakemi, good evening. I see you. Thank you for connecting. Louis, hi. AGK, hello, good evening. Thank you also for connecting. So relational, lack of empowerment relationally, right? Lack of empowerment mentally, right? Someone who is not enlightened might not even have the resources, right, to help themselves or to get the knowledge that they need. Okay. Number 3 is financial empowerment, and that is so important. Honestly, that is so important because money is power. Money is power. And that is why I said these premarital coaching sessions are so important. Everybody, the man, the woman, should be empowered, at least to a very large extent. Because once the abuser makes sure that you are disempowered financially, you're like, okay, where am I going to go? How am I going to survive? And then they've already isolated you from your friends and family. So you are stuck because you have to be dependent on them. Larry, good evening. Simi, hi. Abib, hi. Femi, hi. Good evening all. Thank you so much for connecting. It's day 5 and we're doing Q&A on domestic violence and abuse. Right. So let me see. I hope that's been able to answer that person's question. Now let me add one more. Why so many people stay in abusive relationship, right? Also, people stay in abusive relationship because of religion. So I was going to say spirituality, but I said no, it's because of religion. Ma, do you know this person? Ma, do you know? See, so you see, this is what I also said about mental empowerment. I'm not talking about brilliance. I'm talking about brilliance, right? Because listen, before anyone can abuse you, they need to first of all take control of your mind. Because if you're walking on the road or you are in a store or something and somebody comes towards you and maybe just steps on your toes, for instance, I'm just gonna say, oh. You are gonna immediately your default reaction will be, you just stepped on my toes. You will query that person, you will question that person. So why would somebody slap somebody and that person is I'm sorry. They are slapping you and saying you are sorry. So the brain is not processing that event correctly. And you are the person that is a victim. You are not going to apologize to the perpetrator. The brain is not processing it properly. And that is because there's been grooming. This person before. Now, okay, maybe tomorrow, there's so much. This topic is just so broad. And God will help us to just do as much as we can in the 15 days. Before the perpetrator starts to abuse the victim, they first of all groom them. They get into their mind. Remember, your mind is a good. So they start to tell you things like, see, you are not really that good. And abuse can happen to anybody. Abuse is not status biased as well. It's not gender biased. It's not status biased. It's not economical capacity biased. I'm sure we heard of the story of the senator a few months ago in Nigeria. And you wonder, oh my goodness, she's a senator. That means she's intelligent. How did that happen to? It can happen to anybody. Especially because emotions are involved. That is why you need to know the signs. You need to see the red flags. Don't isolate yourself. Have relational empowerment. Have people around you that even when you begin to go down, they can pull you and say, this person did this. No. They can see what you are not seeing. It's very important. Very important. Right? So the other reason I'm going to talk about is religion. I'm not going to say spirituality, religion. People stay in abusive relationships for so long because of religion. And I was someone that did that. Religion. You know what they say? God hates divorce. Does God love abuse? Does God want love control? Does God want you to die? What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. It's the devil, it's the devil. Just stay there and be praying. We shall pray. Don't worry. We shall pray. 21 days prayer and fasting. Dry fast. Don't worry. We will chase the devil away. Was it 3 years ago now? God rest her soul. They told our dear sister Osinachi that and more. So it was religion that killed her. And it nearly killed me as well. Oh, yes. Religion nearly killed me. Let's just be praying. Pray, declare, confess. Declare, confess, pray. God will do it. There's nothing God cannot do. God doesn't want you to die. God doesn't want you to lose your mind, because some people exit their abusive relationship and they've lost their mind. They've lost their mind. I coach people, I do therapy for people. Some people have lost their mind because they got married. And because religion told them to stay there. Thank God that, awareness. People are creating awareness now. And people are knowing that, no, God doesn't want me to die. Thank God that pastors are speaking out. I'm so glad, so glad when I hear men of God, women of God saying, no, do not die there. Separate and stay alive. The covenant of life is superior to the covenant of marriage. And this is not about breaking people's homes, not at all. This is about saving lives. See, I remember the very first client I had about 5, 6 years ago, the very first client I will have in my professional journey. This person came to me and she was referred to me, and she told the person that referred her, oh, I'm tired of my marriage, I want to leave, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh, I know a coach, she will help you leave your marriage. Okay, so when she came and she told me, I said, okay, I don't help people leave their marriage. Disclaimer. Come first. Tell me what the problem is. And then we will then map out a way forward. When and I started with this lady, okay, so what's wrong? Well, this one, that one, we're not even talking at the moment. Did you used to do this one? You used to do that one. By the time she finished, I realized that all the issue was that this person had low self-esteem. The marriage was not abusive at all. Unrealistic expectations and low self-esteem. Because see, life is all about law of cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. And by the time I started helping her on her self-esteem and confidence, self-esteem, I think we got into week 8 or week 9. Because I asked her, what do you want? I'm a coach. I won't tell you what to do. I would help you to achieve your goal. Coach, we got to like week 8 or so. So let's review our goals. What do you want? Well, if I remember that I did perceptual positioning intervention for her one day, and after that session, she said, oh, my husband just started talking to me. He said we should go to where we did our honeymoon. And then the tone changed. I said, sis, can you see now that it wasn't, you also needed to adjust some things. So nobody is talking about destroy homes. No, we're talking about saving life, and the life of each child of God is important to God. In fact, let me move to, so now that they have answered that question, like I said, there are so many questions, but I'll just move to some other questions that sort of, go around this. Now, so this person says, does God expect me to stay in abusive marriage? Val says, religion has caused a lot of damage. It builds strongholds in many generations of women. Actually, so this thing has been happening from generation to generation, which is why you need to put an end to it. Oh, but your great-grandmother, your great-grandfather, they all stayed there. They managed. But did they fulfill God's purpose in their lives? The fact that, and that is why, so you see, the fact that two people are staying together, right? The question you need to ask is, are they, when they get to heaven and God asks them, welcome, oh, welcome, how far? The job where I send you to do, how far now? You don't do you do because we are not just here to just fold our legs. Oh. We're not here in this world just to have children or marry. We are here to fulfill an assignment. And now imagine if, I don't know, I'm trying to look for a name. Imagine if a name, somebody you don't fulfill their purpose. Imagine if, I'm trying to be careful not to mention it. But just imagine that a lot of people that have, done some phenomenal things in this world, they didn't do it. The guy that invented this phone, tech, if they've not done, imagine where we will be. You have an assignment that is unique to you. Yes, absolutely. So you are not here just to fold your leg, have children, eat, dance, and be merry. What did God tell that guy? The rich fool. He said, my soul, oh yeah, enjoyment galore. My soul, relax, yeah? Enjoy yourself. God was like, you really think that I sent you to the world to just sit down and be enjoying yourself? Say, tonight, come and report. And that is why I said you need to heal because you carry value. Ayo, good evening. Taiwo, good evening. Memuna, hi, good evening. Timmy, hey sis, good evening. Isime, and good evening. Mark Knight, hi, good evening. Thank you all so much for connecting tonight. So, no, God does not expect anyone to stay in any environment where their safety or their dignity or their identity is being destroyed. God is a good God. Every good and perfect gift comes from above, from the Father of light, with who there is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. God is a good God. So God does not want you to stay in an environment where you are being abused, where you are being verbally violated, where you are being emotionally violated, where you are being psychologically violated. God doesn't want you to stay there. Marriage, God designed marriage as a covenant of love. That is why the Bible says two are better than one. Marriage is supposed to make you better. Both parties are supposed to make each other better. Marriage is not army barrack. It's supposed to be a relationship where two people come together to chase 10,000. That means that your union creates an exponential increase. One will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000. So if your life is not getting better, something is very wrong. Talk less of if your life is not getting worse. Because today they slapped you, one eye remove. Tomorrow, this one, your hand cannot pay, or they've abused you so much, you sleep and you wake up with headache. That's not God's design. That's not God's design for you. Now, a lot of people quote Ephesians 5. In fact, let's go there. I quoted Ephesians 5. You see, let me Ephesians 5. Let's go there. Ephesians 5. There's a particular translation. I'll find it in a minute. So Ephesians 5. And see, a lot of times when people, that question I answered just now about why people stay in abusive relationships, I said it's because of religion, right? People use the scripture to also bully people. To also what? Bully people. And they use Ephesians chapter 5 a lot. I need my book. Give me 1 second, guys. Right. Okay. I want to read something to you in Ephesians chapter 5, because we are going to answer this question. We will get down into it and just deal with it, right? And there's a particular translation that I want to read to you. And this is just so phenomenal. So phenomenal, right? Talking about, because I say, somebody says, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. That was Miles Monroe of blessed memory. Rossi, hi. Lily, hi. Valentine, hi. Belumi, hi. Good evening. Where purpose, okay, there's a question out. Is stripped of family, in fact, was what costs her Disney. Okay, that's fine. Habiba Andrea, okay, please send that to me as a DM. Okay, send that to me as a DM and we'll be able to help you with that. So where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable, right? Now, Let me use this analogy for you. I'm answering that question. Does God expect me to stay in an abusive marriage? Because I'm sure some people have been told, no, God doesn't want you to leave. God wants you to stay there. Really? Which God is that? The God I know is a good father. He's a kind father. He doesn't want it. He said, if you human beings know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more me? He's a good father. That's who he is. And guess what? You are loved by him. That's who you are. You are a loved child to God. Right? So now, if you don't understand the purpose of a child in your life, or you don't understand the purpose of a parent in your life, you don't understand the purpose of a wife or a husband, you will abuse that relationship. So maybe I would say another reason why people stay. Well, it can't be. Maybe another reason why people abuse each other in relationship, because that's another question, is they don't know the purpose why that person is in their life. So Ephesians 5 is the message translation that I want to read to us. And follow me, right? What is the purpose of a wife in the life of her husband? What is the purpose of a husband in the life of his wife? Let's hear what Ephesians has to say. Out of respect for Christ, it courteously reverts to one another. Oh, sorry, let me start again. Out of respect for Christ, be courteously reverent to one another. Wives, listen, understand and support your husband in ways that show your support for Christ. The husband provides leadership for his wife the way Christ does to his church. I'm reading from Message. In fact, if somebody can help me get it so that I can be on the screen as well. Ephesians 5 from verse 21 in the Message. Let's just do 21 to maybe 25 or 26. It says the husband provides leadership to his wife the way Christ does to his church. How does Christ provide leadership to the church? Does Christ abuse the church? Does Jesus Christ beat the church? Does he physically, verbally violate the church? Does he tell the church, you are stupid, you are foolish? No. Not by domain. In fact, look at this now. The husband provides leadership to his wife the way Christ does to his church, not by domineering, but by cherishing. Not by domineering, but by cherishing. Somebody find that for me and just post the whole thing. Ephesians 5, verse 21. He says the husband provides leadership to his wife the way Christ does to his church, not by domineering, but by cherishing. If you cherish something, do you hit it? I'm sure a lot of us here, you have things you cherish. Your phone, your Gucci bag, your Prada shoes, your gold. Do you throw your bag on the floor anyhow? Do you throw your Gucci shoes? Do you just chuck it in the back of nowhere? How do you treat those things that you cherish? That is how the Bible says husband should. No, in fact, it's not about domineering. This is what we're talking about. Domineering is control. Domineering is I'm the boss, you are the servant. That's not the way Christ loved the church. So it says, just as the church submits to Christ, as it exercises such, oh my goodness. Just as the church submits to Christ, as it exercises such leadership, wives should likewise submit to their husband. So it's saying that, listen, husbands, as you are providing leadership to your wife, the way Christ does to his church, not by dominating, but by cherishing. Wives, right? Also submit to your husband as he exercises such leadership. Excuse me, can we interpret that? Is English language. Meaning, it is the Bible, don't come at me. Meaning that if the husband is not providing that leadership of cherishing like Christ does it, there is no way the wife will submit to that kind of a husband. No be me say. He's here. Is it? Thank you very much, my sister. Official is okay. You say, is it to understand? Easy to understand. I say to people, there's, I do have male clients as well, in coaching and therapy. I tell my male clients, I say, listen, you can get your wife to do anything for her if you love her. Women are very simple. Oh. Men, I'm telling you, women are very easy creatures. I'm sure somebody like, is it true? Let's talk generally now. Because women are, whatever you give to them, you've heard it before. Give this to a woman, she would do increase it, she would pamper it, and she will give back to you, press and shake it together and running over. If you cherish and love a woman, she will blow up. A woman will do anything for you if you truly love her. Well, look at their hair. Women are saying absolutely. Amazingly said. Simple and clear. True. I was having this conversation with my hubby 2 days ago. Yeah. That is the way women are incubators. We are natural carers. A woman would do anything for the husband that loves and cherishes her. I'm telling you. Even if that man goes and kills somebody and comes home, that woman will say, he's not here, I've not seen him more. She will protect the man. Say, this is my man? No. And that's what the woman is looking for. Love, care, cherish as Christ. So the purpose. Now, let's keep reading. Husbands, go all out in love for your wives, exactly as Christ did for the church. A love marked by giving, not getting. Let's stay there for a minute. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just reading the Bible. Husbands, go all out in love for your wives, exactly as Christ did for the church. A love marked by giving, not by getting. Where's my food? Bring my food. Have you cleaned the house? Have you done it? Go and do this. So you are commander in general. You are doing this. What have you given? You're not giving love. You're not giving care. And you're not giving resources. My husband says it's true, but not all he. My husband says it's true, but not all he is listening. Okay. And the truth is, let me just say this. There are some amazing men out there. Oh, I love to always say this, that when you've experienced abuse or you've gone through abuse, you might think that, all men are this, all men are that. Or you are hearing, this. No. Don't get it twisted. Ooh, there are some amazing men out there. I've met some of them. And I'll just be, wow, you're a man. In fact, I had to learn what is normal in romantic relationships. Now, I'm being vulnerable with you. Because of what I experienced for years. I remember going to, in early days, going to see my sister. I stayed in the house for a few days, and I saw the way her husband was, oh, babe, do you want a drink? And I was like, oh, babe, please, please let me buy some meat pies. And I'm like, you are sending your husband on errand to buy you meat pie, to go to the eatery and buy you meat pie. Are you okay? My sister said, what's inside? He is my husband. I paused. I was thinking. I said, Jola, no, your normal was very abnormal. Because I now went somewhere else and I saw the same thing. How the man was looking after the wife. In fact, my pastor would say, anytime he wakes up in the morning, the first thing he does is I go and make my wife a cup of tea. He said, that's what every single day when I wake up, I go and make my wife a cup of tea. I was like, wow, Jola, your normal was so abnormal, babe. I don't even think it. So yes, there's some bad men and some bad women, because if you've met a female perpetrator, is bad, is horrible. But they are good men. They are good, wonderful men who love their wives as Christ loves the church. So he says, a love marked by giving, not getting. Christ's love makes the church whole. If that man says he loves you and is not making you whole, there's a problem. Is what is pulling you down, is what is chipping into your soul, is intimidating you, is bullying you, is oppressing you, he speaks down at you in public, he doesn't care about you, your passion, your progress, your purpose. He just His words. Ooh, I love this. Honestly, Ephesians, go and read that. Ephesians 5:21. Read it in Message translation. He says, his words evoke a beauty. Somebody asked about verbal abuse. The way a husband is supposed to love his wife, your words should evoke her beauty. I heard this funny comment that somebody says, my wife says I don't tell her I love her. I said, but I told you when I married her I love you now. I told you last night. I said, no, you need to be telling me every day. I said, okay, no problem. The guy now went to record inside record a voice note. I love you, I love you. Oh yeah, play it. Anytime you want to hear I love you, play it. But listen, he says his words evoke a beauty. Oftentimes women, you know, they say they want to hear sweet nothings. Just be saying it so that my head can be swelling. Tell me how beautiful I look. But it's biblical. He says his words evoke a beauty. So if you're not evoking a beauty, you are not pulling her down, telling her, you look at your nose, you are so ugly. You know, if I didn't marry you, nobody will marry you. I did you a favor by marrying you. Not of God. Everything he does and says is designed to bring out the best of her. I'm reading the Bible, guys. Ephesians 5. Everything he does and says is designed to bring out the best out of her, dressing her in dazzling white silk, radiant with holiness. And that is how husbands ought to love their wives. They are really doing themselves a favor since they are already won in marriage. No one abuses his own body, does he? No, he feeds and pampers it. That's how Christ treats us, the church, since we are part of his body. You can finish reading the whole thing. And I think tomorrow I'll start to talk about the perpetrator, because listen, it says here that you're supposed to be one with your wife. So if you are abusing her, it means you're abusing yourself. I'll get into that tomorrow. Because listen, you cannot give what you don't have. We're going to get into the mind of the perpetrator so that you also know that, staying here and saying, the Lord says, or I should be praying, you are actually not doing yourself any good, and you're not doing that person any good either. Absolutely, it's okay. The word of God is already outlined. Yeah. Go, if you want to really understand it, Ephesians 5:21-23, read it in the Message translation. Wow, Touch, hi. Lizzie, hi. Kem, hi. Good evening. First Lady Joy, Dolly, hi. Thank you all so much for connecting. So I hope I've been able to answer that question. No, God does not expect you to stay in an abusive marriage, right? God does not expect you to stay in an abusive marriage. No, that cannot be the time. I've only answered 2 questions or 3 questions. What's going on? Oh my God. Okay, so let me look for this person says, if I leave my abusive partner, am I disobeying God? The answer is no. I think I just also answered that question. No, you're not disobeying God, actually, right? What you're doing is you are protecting the life God gave you. Listen, you are responsible for the life God gave you. You are a custodian of that life. That's why people, we say, oh, look after your health, right? Eat right. It's the same thing. Man, you are a human being. 3 in 1, spirit, soul, and body. And when we say you are healthy, means that your spirit, your soul, and your body is healthy, not just your body. So the same way we say, oh, watch what you eat. Oh, don't eat junks. Don't eat too late. Don't eat all the burgers. Don't eat sweet. Because why? Those things can cause toxic to your physical health. What about your soul? So why are you staying in a toxic environment that is causing toxicity in your soul, which is part of your being? It's like, think about it the next time, right? The person that asked this question, think about it that I'm in this toxic relationship, negative words, psychological, gaslighting, all of the negativity. Think about it as me sitting down and eating sugar and then drinking Coke and then eating burger and eating all of those things. The same way that thing will destroy your physical body is the same way a toxic environment will destroy your soul. You destroy your soul. Now let me read, because since we are here already, I'm talking about spirituality. Hey, good evening, Toby. God bless you. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 7:15. And well, I'm going to say this. I'm reading the Bible. 1 Corinthians 7:15. 7:15. So 1 Corinthians 7, verse 15. Now it says, but if the unbeliever departs, let him depart. A brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases, but God has called us to peace. Now, we say, oh, but he's not an unbeliever, he's a Christian, if I is a pastor. Okay. What does a believer mean? What does unbeliever mean? If I say I'm a believer, right? If I say I'm a teacher, what does that mean? I teach. I'm a chemistry teacher. I teach chemistry. I'm a believer in God. If I'm a believer in God, I'm also what? A believer in his word. So if I'm not doing what his word asks me to do, what does that mean? I've become an unbeliever. Oh, yes. In fact, I was saying to someone that the covenant of marriage, where oftentimes when you saying your vows, what do you say? To honor you, to protect you, to do this, to do that. By the time you start abusing the other person, you have broken that covenant. You've broken the covenant. So, yes, you are not disobeying God. You are protecting the life God gives you. Quickly, let me look for one more that I can take, because I need to go to another meeting in about 5 minutes. So this one says, can Christians be abusive and still call themselves believers? Oh my God. Well, you really want me to if I start answering that question now, we might not live here today. So let me just say the simple answer is yes. Even though, okay, I don't want to get too technical. I just want to answer it on the surface, right? And I'll provide some perspective for you. Maybe I'll try and answer a few more tomorrow, or we'll just see how the Spirit leads us. Hi, Shala. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Jumi Gracious. Hi. Good evening. Thank you also for connecting this evening. So, can a Christian be abusive and still call themselves believers? A Christian. The truth is, being a Christian or going to church does not mean somebody has a relationship with God. Can I go a step further? Being a pastor, right, preaching, casting out demons, does not mean somebody has a relationship with God. Yeah. And I'm reading the Bible to us. Yeah, I'm reading the Bible to us. I'm reading the Bible to us. And like I said, we're going to talk about the perpetrators, because some people, right, genuinely I did a therapy for someone some years back, right? It was a guy abusing his wife, and he was the one that sought therapy. He said, I don't like this thing, and I find myself reacting like this to my wife all of the time. And I saw this happen while I was growing up, and I told myself I never want to be a man like my father, but now I am exactly like him. Help me, coach. I'm like, that's fine, no problem. We'll help you to change. So because it's a habit that you formed, right? So we'll help you to change that habit by forming a new habit of how to react to situations in your home. So we're going to get into the mind of the reason. But yes, answering this question, let us go to Matthew chapter 7. That's my answer. Because the fact that somebody is a Christian, in quotes, anybody can call themselves a Christian, or they go to church, or even a pastor or apostle, the title does not matter. The question is, does this person have a relationship with God? And how do I know this person has a relationship? So let's go. Matthew 7. Matthew 7. Let me start to read from verse. Okay, let me start from verse 21, right? Verse 21. Not everyone, Matthew 7, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. So you can swap that to say, not everyone who is a Christian shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Verse 22. Very profound. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord. They even called him Lord. Listen. Have we not prophesied in your name? So they just look at you and say, You are believing God for a child. Receive a child. Oh, yes, so Pastor, how did you know I am? So they prophesied. Have we not prophesied in your name? Cast out demons in your name. They get out. And the demon left. In your name. Oh. And done many wonders in your name. So I want you to follow me in a video format in your head. Prophesied in your name, cast out demons in your name, done many wonders. Another scripture says many mighty miracles, like raising the dead in your name. Verse 23. Verse 23. Are you ready for this? Verse 23. He says, and then I will declare to them, I never knew you. I never knew you. Not that I used to know you before, and then, things fell apart, and then we don't. He just says, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. Emphasis on workers. Workers. The works of your hands. And then, you see, verse 20. Let me go back to verse 20. Verse 20 says, therefore, by their fruits you will know them. Workers. By their fruits you will know them. Which is why we really need to teach more, especially in the church. And I said my mind is from Isaiah 61 verse 1 to 4. And one of the things he says is that God has called me and anointed me to comfort those who mourn in Zion. The first time I was like, Zion? Zion is God's presence. In the presence of God, there is fullness of joy. How can people be mourning in Zion? I said, no. People are mourning in Zion. And it reminded me, you yourself, Jola, you are in Zion, but you are mourning. You are sad. You attempted suicide in Zion. Ha ha! So, by their fruits, they shall be known. So we need to begin to tell people that the fact that you met this sister in church doesn't mean that she's qualified for you to marry her. The fact that you met this brother in church doesn't mean automatic, oh yeah, marry, we met in church. No. We're both in the choir. No. We need to begin to do some deep work, so that we prevent the fire from burning in the house. What a lot of coaches are doing today is putting out fire, but we can stop the fire from starting in the first instance. Therefore, by their fruits you will know them. What are the fruits of the Spirit? Let's go to Galatians. So we're doing Bible study tonight. So from Matthew 7, right? Matthew 7, right, from verse 21, right? It talks about Matthew 7, from verse 20 to 23. Now it now says, by their fruits they shall be known. Princess Van High, Jerry High, Tammy High, good evening. So just now go to what are the fruits of the Spirit? Galatians chapter 5 from verse 22. Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit. So that means that before I can say this person knows God, has a relationship with God, I need to see these fruits. Because if this is an orange tree, I should see orange fruits on it. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. Is this person loving? Someone that abuses you does not love you. Excuse me, forget, I love you. No, I love you. Was the devil? I love you. No, what is love? Unconditional love. What is love really? The love of God, the agape love of God. There is no evil in love. There is no fear in love. Fruit of the Spirit is love, joy. Some people are just always angry. If I normally say, when I start talking about a narcissist, right? A narcissist is sad when you are happy and happy when you are sad. Yeah, thank you. It's okay. A narcissist is sad when you are happy. And then when you are sad, they are happy. Peace. They just always want to fight. Okay, a narcissist is sad when you are happy, right? So maybe you just something you came back from work or something happened that is exciting you and you're like, oh wow, oh that my project went well, or this one, they're just in a good mood, you are happy. That narcissist is sad and like, why is he happy? Why is she happy? And they are thinking in their head, okay, I need to puncture this happiness. So they can just make something up. Mama, can you come? Yeah, come, Lagbaja, come. Why is this pillow bent like this? I've told you that pillow should be straight. Why is this pillow in this room like this? Pillow should be shaped like this. You put pillow like this. What's wrong with you? I've been telling you, you don't have sense. You are foolish. You are stupid. So that all of that joy and happiness that you have, they puncture it. And by the time they finish violating you verbally, you are sad now. And then now they are happy. He's sad or she's sad. Love, joy, peace, patience. Patience. Fruits of the Spirit. Nobody's perfect too. And I'm not saying that victims are perfect too. No. Right? Everybody has their shortfalls. Everybody is a work in progress. But the Bible says love covers a multitude of wrong. Part of the fruit of the Spirit is patience. Patience. Don't expect people to, what's wrong with you? Strife. Kindness. Abusers are not kind people. Sometimes I just sit and say, I don't understand how people can be so wicked. I don't know. How do they sleep in the night? How? You put your head on the pillow and you sleep with wickedness in your heart. I don't understand. And you see, there cannot be bitter water and sweet water in this coming from the same tap. So you can't tell me that this person is kind at the same time they're abusing you. It's not possible. Because who you are, right, comes out from inside of you. You are not making it up. It's not an act. Sometimes they act it. That is why it's not consistent. Because if you are one character outside and another character inside, there's a problem. So, love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness. Goodness. Is this person good to you? Faithfulness. I don't even want to go there. But a lot of people who have been abused know that there are issues around this. It's just that sometimes you say, well, it's between you and God. You're doing what nonsense you are doing. Gentleness. Fruits of the Spirit. Self-control. This is for me. This is it. Self-control. Before it's like, that's boast. Nonsense. Look at your head. No self-control at all. Just getting angry like anything else. Self-control. Now, let's go back to Matthew 7. By their fruit. So I tell single people now, right? You met this brother and you met this sister in church. I want to marry, we are in love. Okay, calm down. I'm not saying you don't be in love, but calm all the way down. How do I know that this person has a relationship with God? Check these fruits in their life. And I was saying this regularly that those come and say, yeah, come and sit down. I want to check if you have the fruit of the Spirit. Do you have love? Do you have joy? Peace and calm? Are you long suffering? Are you gentle? Of course, the person will tell you yes now. So that is why you need time. Don't rush into any relationship. Don't rush. If the person is rushing you, just tell them, sorry, I can't be rushed. If you really love me, let's take this one step after another. So the time that you're dating is you are watching out for these signs. You are watching out for these things. You are saying, do they actually have the fruit of the Spirit? And let me also say this, right? Everybody should begin to work on themselves as well. especially if you've been through childhood abuse or anything like that, because you will realize that your own esteem is low. You don't even love yourself. How can somebody else love you? You must love yourself first. You have to love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself and somebody else is, because listen, the truth is the signs are there before marriage. They're always there. It's just that sometimes we overlook it. Sometimes we religionalize it. I won't say spiritualize it. Or we explain it away. Do not make excuses for bad behavior. It was actually me. It was not in a good mood. Or she was because I didn't give her the money. That's why she slapped me. No, it's not because you didn't give her the money. Brother, she's just who she is. Don't marry her. She slapped you. I'm not married and she slapped you. What do you think will happen when you marry her? And I say, I actually saw it before we married, but I was hoping that she would change. No, you are not a transformer that you want to train anybody. Right? Fumi's hi, Bethany hi, Sparkles Creation hi, Vintage hi. Hey, my sis, good evening. So let me leave us with that. Go and ponder on that. Matthew 7:20 to 23, and then the fruit of the Spirit, Galatians 5:22. I think I've been able to answer that question tonight. So many. This person says, how do I forgive someone who hurt me so deeply? Yeah. Okay, we're going to have an entire session on forgiveness. Is there, right? So I'll answer that question about forgiveness. Dr. Michael says she slapped because she's a slapper. Absolutely. She's a slapper. And you cannot change her. She's like that. She will beat you up, of course. No, and this is not even a made-up story or a joke. This was a case I dealt with years ago. This woman, when she's angry, she pulls out a knife and stabs the guy. So many times the guy ends up in hospital. Real life, true life story. The signs are there before you're just telling yourself, but, and then you know what? You are looking at the good side of that person. But she can cook for me. But he buys me flowers. But he gives me money. Go and make your own money. Auntie, what about that one? Make your own and be content with what you have. Because you are not competing with anybody. You don't have to carry a designer bag. So you stay there because of the designer bag and they are beating you up. And they are telling you are stupid, you are foolish. Come here, kneel down. Because you want to carry designer bag and wear, what is it here? No, now. You're better than that. You are precious in God's sight. Do you know who you are to God? A child of God. If you meet Prince Williams tomorrow, how will you treat him? Because this is a child of the king. I have to respect him. I have to. You won't treat him anyhow. You won't talk to him anyhow. You are a prince of God. You are a princess of God. You must not allow anybody to treat you anyhow. Ruth, good evening. Omotoye, good evening. Go and make your own money. Love it. Yes, so now we're talking about free money. I know that things have changed now, actually. So you see. And also be content. Life is step by step in phases. In phases. Because at the end of the day, right, God forbid if anything happens to you, they are not going to, even though now I think they are trying to bury people with things, but they'll just go and steal it after. You ain't taking nothing anywhere. Your soul is important, and the assignment that God has given to you is important. Listen, it doesn't matter what has happened in your past, right? It's in your past. You can invent yourself, and you can fulfill your purpose. From the 17th, 18th, and 19th of October, we are having Reinvent to Excel 7.0. Yay! And it's virtual, right? It's free. You can join from anywhere you are in the world. We have an amazing lineup of speakers. People, survivors of domestic violence and abuse, will be there to share their story. Our speakers will reignite hope in you. They will let you see that it doesn't matter where you're coming from. You can rise again. You can build yourself up again. You can reconnect with your original purpose and fulfill destiny. So don't miss it. The link is in my bio to register. If you need a link on YouTube, please send again. You can send an email to hello@Jola-Grace.com. jola-grace.com. Thank you all so much for connecting tonight. I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow. So let's see the path that will go tomorrow. So many questions, so many things to talk about, but we'll see what God will help us to do. Thank you all so much for connecting with me again tonight. I am the Soul Doctor. My name is Jola-Grace Emmanuel. And like I love to say, I am committed to helping you heal, thrive, and grow. Why? Because you carry value and the world is waiting for you to manifest. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow.